Welcome in. It's Wednesday edition of the Oxford Exxon Podcast. Chase Parham, Neal, McCready, Clark Ford Studio here with you this morning. We will, talk about something. The World Series, the college football playoff rankings, and whatever else strikes your fancy over the next hour and a bit with you here today. Ole Miss on a bye week prior to the Rebels and the Crimson Tide on CBS at 2:30 on November the 12th. So still 10 days away from that. But an interesting World Series game last night. Phillies knock off the Astros 7-0. Got some pitch tipping, got some catching, some pitch tipping, and more. Trade deadline was pretty blah. There was some moves, but nothing that made any headlines yesterday for the most part in the NFL. With that coming out, and then Ole Miss opening up at number 11 in the college football playoff rankings. We'll discuss that and more today. The Oxford Exxon Highway 6 West in Oxford. Remember, they're giving away official Ole Miss game day football jerseys. They are giving away 7 of them, one for every home game all season, 2 remaining Alabama and Mississippi State. And every purchase you make at the Blue Sky location here in Oxford, that gives you a chance to enter into the contest. Make a purchase, sign up, make another purchase, sign up again. Do that as many times as you want there to increase your chances to win one of those jerseys from the Alabama or the Mississippi State game at the Blue Sky here in Oxford. Again, coming to you from the Clark Ford Studio.
We are. Clark Ford is in Amory, Mississippi. 662-257-1900 is the number to call. You call it. You ask for my friend Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours. It's right to the bottom line. No hassle, no haggle. You get your quote. The rest's up to you. You can take it and shop it around if you'd like. You can do it. I've done multiple times now. We'll likely do again fairly soon. And that's hop into a Clark Ford today. 662-257-1900. Guest will join on the Rafters Music and Food Hotline. Rafters on the Square is the perfect place for your Christmas party or gathering. They can accommodate parties of 10 to 500. Great food with the Cajun flair, holiday drinks, and a festive atmosphere. Call Jeannie Chadwick, 601-842-0948, 601-842-0948 to request a catering menu and reserve a date.
We're like 2 minutes into the show. We're getting Dusty Baker frustration in the stream.
Hey, you hired him.
Not gonna get a warm shoulder to lean on with you with Dusty Baker, are we?
I'll give you a big block of ice. He's a bad manager.
In today's era, it's hard to be a bad manager.
Because everything's total analytics.
Completely, almost. I mean, there's very little feel left in Major League Baseball.
I'm just glad he felt safe enough to take his gloves off finally. After two years of glove theater, he was able to take his gloves off. That makes me happy for him.
Did he, or I mean, not even him, did the Astros not realize that it was being tipped? Because they left him in forever last night.
Apparently not. Now, in fairness, they scored 0 runs.
So
once Philly had 1 run,
that was enough.
The other home runs turned out to be superfluous.
Yeah, but there is a difference at bad intensity down 1-0 versus 7-0. Obviously, if it's in the 6th.
If you're Houston, the second loss was that Philly did not have to use their good bullpen arms.
And the rain delay or the rain out helped Philadelphia more than Houston the day before.
Oh, for sure. Sure. I didn't get to see it. I followed it a little bit on my phone. I went to the first 10 minutes of Ole Miss's basketball exhibition, and then I went to Carson's soccer game.
Yeah, I turned it on, I guess, right as the second home run was hit, and then stayed with it for a pretty good while for no real reason. I was just sort of glancing up and down and whatever and watching a little bit of it, but I don't have a huge rooting interest.
Kyle, thanks for the super chat. He says, at what point does Jimbo start tanking more than he already is? I don't think he's tanking. I don't think Jimbo's trying to lose.
Oh, I mean, he feels the pressure. He's trying like hell to win.
Yeah,
Can't.
Did you see him? He looks terrible.
He does look bad.
I mean,
he looks as bad as a guy worth $95 million can look.
Yeah, it tells me he's super stressed. Looks super stressed. Looked awful. Acting terribly. Kind of lost his temper over and over, that kind of stuff. Being petulant.
I think a story has been written on it. Why does he carry around the amount of paper that a law school student would use over the course of a semester on the sidelines? I mean, you got a full legal pad.
The criticism of him is that he has to coach from his notes. He has to he has to go back and reference everything. It's all there, but it doesn't come to him naturally. I don't know. Is that true? I don't know. He can't coach by feel. Everything is fairly scripted.
What was he like? Because, I mean, obviously he wins the national title with Jameis. What was he like the 10 years before that as a younger coach? I mean, he was known as an offensive mastermind in a lot of ways early on in his career. I mean, what was –
I always liked him. Jay has a completely different opinion of him. I covered him at Auburn, and I covered him to some degree at LSU, and I always liked him. I got along with him, had a nice relationship with him. I mean, I'm never going to be the guy unless it's just brutally obvious, like it is with, Kiffin or Sarkisian, or where guys just have this natural feel for offense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be the guy that goes, well, this guy's a genius and this guy's – I mean, I don't know, it beats me. But
you're usually as good as your quarterback.
But he was pretty good. I mean, they had some – I thought he did a remarkably good job at LSU with Jamarcus Russell. Simplified it down to where they –
Like I say, that's not the easiest coaching job in the world.
No. There were a lot of people around Jamarcus, a lot of voices in his –
I mean, I know he's talented, but –
yeah, it was a ton of talent, but there's more to it than, hey, I can throw the ball 90 yards.
Who do they have this week? Florida. That's right.
Florida.
Yeah. That's right.
11 a.m.
You laying them?
I'm tempted to. Just 3 points. I think I get the better quarterback.
Is that Carson's team on your shifts?
It's his club team.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody asked on the stream. That's what I
Tupelo
assumed.
Football Club.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was my assumption, but I was not 100%. I saw we're not getting – did I say we're still not getting Ted Lasso until like over into the spring or summer?
Oh, is it not in December anymore?
No. I read something like a few weeks ago because I was contemplating a couple almost not preview pods necessarily, but things to talk about with it. And no, I don't know that there even is a certified date yet for release, but I think we're months away.
Oh, that's disappointing.
I think I'm right. I mean, I'll Google during a break, but I'm pretty sure it's not right now. Because I kind of was too. I was like, oh, we're right here. It's close. We'll do whatever and discuss the dynamics a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's disappointing. I was looking forward to that. I'd kind of circled December 13th on my calendar. In fact, my plan had been to download all of them and watch them like on the plane and stuff to Boise. So that's out. I have to figure something else out.
That is out. I mean, I'm reading here from, I don't know, some blog or something. It says, so is there any chance at all the premiere date is announced this month? We don't want to rule anything out, mostly because it feels foolish to completely negate the possibility. However, we're not going into the rest of the month thinking there is news on a specific date right around the corner. The more likely scenario here is we get an approximate window this month, thinks winter, spring, or maybe a specific month that we're lucky. And also rather be nice to get our first bit of footage, even if it's a short teaser. So, yeah, no date necessarily for season 3 for that. Oh, bot's back.
Oh, sure is.
What do we do for that?
Felt pretty tame so far.
Yeah, I thought we were okay. Apparently not.
69mega.com.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Somebody in the stream's typing in right now. It worked. So, see what's going on. I saw the odds come out yesterday for the Auburn search. Freeze the odds-on favorite.
A little freeze buzz yesterday.
Why?
I don't know.
I guess here's my better question. It always kind of cracks me up in the first days of a coaching search because guys fall in and out in like 4 hours, and it's like, hold on a minute, you think everybody's just in a room and we're like throwing darts? That's not how this works. Like it's so much guessing game bullshit early on that like.
I mean, look, I think we have a feel for the people they're going to at least kick the tires on.
Sure.
But how much of this is John Cohen's search? How much of this is? Yeah, I used a baseball example with someone yesterday. If Jed Hoyer, the general manager of the Cubs, goes out and signs a utility infielder to a 3-year, $11.7 million deal, okay?
All right.
He probably doesn't have to go call Tom Ricketts to go, hey, I'm thinking about signing this guy. Now, if they get close to the finish line with Trey Turner and it's, hey, this is going to be an 8-year deal worth $247 million with an option here and blah, blah, blah.
Probably need to make a phone call.
Probably going to have to talk to ownership a little bit, right? Because there's going to be a little different deal. So how much of this is going to be Cohen conducting a bit of a search? how much of this is going to be ultimately at the end where he has to sit down with the money people and go, okay, so here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm thinking about. And maybe they veto it. Maybe they don't. I don't know. Beats me. I don't cover Auburn. I did talk to somebody yesterday who said it should be noted that this is still really early. I mean, good for Jay and the people that are cashing in on a 4-week, 5-week search. Kudos. I would do the exact same thing. Go for it. Get your coin. But it is a little early to be like, this guy's the leader. I do pay attention to Vegas odds.
Yeah,
because you can bet on them. I mean, people can put real money on that.
Mm-hmm.
So I pay attention to it. Now, I'm not hostage to it at this point because it's early.
Auburn head coach odds. I was trying to actually find the tweet. It was. Here we go. From, let's see. Looking for it. They had Freeze at 2-1 at one point yesterday. That's way too high. There's no value in Freeze at 2-1.
No value, but it might be indicative of something.
Kiffin 11-4. So
Yeah.
almost 3-1.
Yeah.
Sanders 7-1. Grimes 11-1. Leach 11-1.
They're not hiring Leach.
Kevin Steele 12-1. Stoops 12-1. Rule 12-1. Gundy 12-1. Campbell 14-1. Urban Meyer 25-1 if you'd like to light some money on fire.
There's some value in those 12-1s.
There are.
There's a little value there.
Yeah, Grine asking how much is Cohen making MSU. Auburn paying him 1.5 when Allen Green only made $675. He was around $1 million at Mississippi State. It was like somewhere between $950 and $1.1, but I forget where exactly on that scale.
Yeah, I laugh at the people that act offended about him leaving to take what turns out to be a 50% pay raise.
Well, and just a better job.
Of course.
I mean,
of course.
And he wasn't getting. Here's the thing, too. At one point, he was this favorite son that it almost felt like he had some lifetime contract. State was going to fire his ass if he made a head coach hire that was poor after Leach. I mean, what do? Do you just sit there and wait for the axe to fall? I mean, because to not get fired, you'd almost have to hire a coach that starts finishing like third in the West. Well, who's doing that at Mississippi State?
Nobody.
Consistently.
Nobody.
So
their situation from a infrastructure standpoint is, it is
because they're light years behind Ole Miss in the NIL market.
It's dire. Literally, there is one program in the league that is head and shoulders below them.
You're only putting Vanderbilt in that group.
Absolutely. And in fact, of the others, I think I might put them all ahead of State.
You would pick South Carolina ahead of State.
Oh, yeah. South Carolina might be a little higher up than we're giving anybody credit for. They're in pretty good shape.
Who's 12?
I mean,
if State's 13, who's 12?
It's probably Missouri.
Yeah.
And Missouri's ahead of State. They got Luther Burden.
They did.
They have shown the financial wherewithal to get a couple of things done.
That's true. Yeah, and then you get in a little bit of a hodgepodge after that. Teams that could be 6 to 10. I mean, who knows? Yeah. We could depend on how we want to do it.
I mean, I think South Carolina's kind of. I mean, I don't. Look, people,
they were an early mover with some of the NIL stuff.
People do this deal with like, well, how much money? Look, William Liston's not going to tell me how much money has been raised. He's not going to tell you that. So you hear stuff, but I don't know. I mean, but I think South Carolina's, if there's a bell curve, they're on the good side of it. They're in decent shape, doing a decent job. It's a hard job, whatever. But, they're solid.
Missouri gets the college love from the whole state a little bit, being the flagship and the only one, but that is such a pro sports state.
Sure.
And especially in those city areas because they're close to Kansas City, they're close to St. Louis, up in that corridor.
I mean, you got the Cardinals, the Royals, the Chiefs. The Chiefs are huge in Missouri. So, I don't know. But Missouri's ahead of State. My point is, I totally get why John Cohen would leave Mississippi State for Auburn. 1,000,000%. And he gets more money. And he gets a reset.
I laugh at the internet stuff about how he's cutting some $10 million check or something. But does Tim Cook give a crap at all about this?
I think so. I mean, that's what people tell me, that he's invested. I don't think that he's sitting around every Saturday living and dying on 3rd and 6, but I think he cares.
It's not all academic in nature, in your opinion.
But it's mostly academic.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think he has put college football in its proper spot, which is something that most people can't say.
Yeah, it's not a predominant thought in all places. Sure.
ZOU, Cole. ZOU, buddy. Mm-hmm.
Catchy.
Yeah.
Fine.
I like Missouri.
Do you?
Sure.
Why?
Great journalism school. Hey.
It is.
You want to move up, go there.
I will say this. It is an incredibly good journalism school. We are very soured by the 3 or 4 complete and utter asshats that sour it.
Consistently. When at one point when Campbell said, "Well, I'm thinking about journalism," I said, "Well, number one, you're not, and number two, if you are, you're going."
Yeah, no. I mean,
you're going to Missouri.
Yes, it is not the school's fault that we associate it with 3 or 4 complete and utter.
I mean, I think asshats is the right word.
That's a pretty good
fair.
That's not completely incorrect. I mean, it's at the end of the day, like I'm not criticizing the Neal school at Northwestern because of 2 dudes that I don't really like.
Sure.
So, yeah. Anyway, Georgia rubbed the nerd save his job by winning at South Carolina. Yeah, he cooled it off for sure.
For sure. They're not firing him. Why would you fire him right now? There's signs of progress. You're going to fire him so that you can hire the next him? Then what? Start over again? He's earned more time. Give him more time. The quick trigger thing, unless it's a total disaster, the quick trigger is usually a mistake. Because you start all over. Why do you want to start all over? I mean, there's signs of progress. They should have beaten Auburn. He didn't miss the kick. He didn't fumble the ball at the 1-yard line.
No, they've been fine. You're right. They have been completely.
He took his team over there. They fell down 14-0, and they came back and should have won the game. They played Georgia. They played Georgia to the final minute. Everybody disregards that. Like it didn't happen. It did happen.
God, in all seriousness, the PR difference in that program if they pull that off right now. I mean, they are like 3 plays away from us considering Missouri in a completely different light, where frankly Drinkwitz is like an SEC Coach of the Year candidate relative to expectations and what people expected. I mean, it's fairly fascinating. I mean, he's of all people, Drinkwitz might be the guy who just goes to sleep at night going, God dang, like so close. Because you lose to Auburn like that. Georgia beats you, what was the final? 26-22, where you kind of handled the game for most of it.
Well, they've certainly played a very respectable game against a top team.
They would be 6-2 and 4-1 right now with those 2 games.
Ranked like 11th.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I get giving them 2 games, but we're talking about like 3 plays.
Yeah. So you're firing him? No, he's fine. I don't know what was left on their schedule.
I mean, they only complete no-showed once, and it was against Kansas State. They looked like crap in Manhattan. No. But they ain't the only one.
Oklahoma State says hello.
Yeah. They ain't the only one. They've got – their finish is interesting. They could easily still not even go to a bowl.
Who they got left?
So they're 4-4.
Okay.
Kentucky.
Toss-up.
Tennessee.
No.
New Mexico State.
Win.
And Arkansas.
Toss-up.
Probably 6-6. Maybe 5-7. I can't get them to 7-5.
They need to beat Kentucky to feel good about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go into the last game against Arkansas having to have that one.
Yeah. Now, it's interesting. They had a pretty good matchup against Arkansas because they're a good run defense team. Now, you got to be really good against them. Their run game is solid.
Yeah, that's one of the more interesting finishes for a year. Talk about just changing dynamics. I mean, he really needs Kentucky because if they can get to 6-6, he can sort of kind of build off 6-6, sort of as dumb as that sounds. At 5-7, you almost sort of. It's interesting, God, because we'll do it after the break because it dovetails into something we kept in that's kind of interesting. Podcast brought to you in part by Prime Shrimp. PrimeShrimp.com, 6 different flavors there for you, including their newest arrival, the lemon cracked pepper, their signature blend, which is my favorite, the spicy, which is the Louisiana Shrimp Bowl, a couple meals in a bag with the garlic herb butter and the French Quarter Alfredo. MPW, that's the code that gives you $20 off your first order with Prime Shrimp. They also have their 2-pound bags of individually frozen shrimp, a lot like what's at the grocery store, except a higher quality shrimp from a New Orleans-based company. So, again, that's primeshrimp.com.
If you're looking for a place to watch the games this weekend, if you're in Oxford or in the Jackson area, highly recommend Walk On Sports Bistro. They put everything they've got into bringing you game day with the taste of Louisiana. Dig into their mouth-watering, made-from-scratch Louisiana cuisine, po' boys, gumbo, voodoo shrimp, fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads, all in front of 70-plus TVs, 40 ice-cold beers on tap. Also brought to you by Dead Soxy. Go to deadsoxy.com. Promo code Rebel Grove. Get 25% off the best socks you'll ever put on your feet. The College Corners, your one-stop Rebel Shop. 2 locations is what I was trying to say. In Jackson, 1 in Ridgeland, 1 in Flowood. You can also go to collegecornerstore.com for the best selection of Rebel gear in Central Mississippi. We're brought to you by The Rogue. The Rogue at 4450 I-55 North in Jackson, or therogue.com. We'll have hand-raised guys tomorrow night. That's brought to you by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. Different names, same great products and services. If you live in Oxford, Tupelo, or the surrounding area, call Comer, 662-801-1777. If you live in Hernando, Memphis, or the surrounding area, call Southern, 662-429-4429. A-Stock Auctions is a Nashville-based online auction company with the mission to provide customers the power to name their price. All items at A-Stock start at just $1. That's right. Every item starts at just $1. Shop now at astock.bid or download their app. Name your price on thousands of items from big-name retailers. A-Stock Auctions has multiple locations around Nashville that offer local pickups, so don't miss out. If you want it, bid it, win it. Solutions RX is a probiotic multivitamin supplement company created by Ole Miss Pharmacy alum Chris Cornelison. I've been using some of their products. Really makes you feel good. Takes a lot of that. If you're taking some high blood pressure medication, cholesterol medications, whatever the case may be, they've got some products that kind of help with the depletion of minerals and vitamins that happen in your body with those medications. To learn more, go to solutionsrx.com. Promo code OEP at checkout. Get 10% off your first order. And we're brought to you by Holcomb Portable Buildings, 7991 Highway 7 South in Holcomb. They'll custom build your building to your specifications. You pick the color, the style, the windows, the doors. Holcomb makes it happen. In-house financing is available, free delivery and set up within 75 miles of Holcomb as well. 226-2233, or find them on Instagram or Facebook at Holcomb Portable Buildings.
Podcast is brought to you by G&M Pharmacy, 662-236-2222. They deliver locally in the Oxford area, and they offer MedSync for your prescriptions the same day each month and take care of you. You can also transfer your medications to G&M or a community-based pharmacy. They take care of everything after one phone call. Give them a little information, and it will be done for you at that point. So whether it be Tyson Drugs in Holly Springs or G&M in Oxford, again, that's 662-236-2222. You know, the Missouri kid just fumbled, and I mean, it is what it is against Auburn.
Yeah, he just dropped the ball.
Georgia talent ended up winning out. Missouri kind of froze up or whatever bit, but football is such a small sample size sport because one win, one loss. You play 12 times. You don't play 82. What is sort of the number to where we start giving bad or negative connotations to coaches in close games? Like, because, you look at Lane, and we keep talking about all these coin flips, but frankly, he keeps winning most of them.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a thread on the board about it, and it's not wrong. I mean, you look over the course of his tenure, and typically when games get close, he's pulled them out. I mean, now, and I don't think it's hard to say, hey, you're not ever going to do that every time because there's lots of other damn good coaches and you're going to lose plenty of games. Don't get me wrong. However, at the same time,
some of it's luck.
Some of it is luck. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I guess what I mean is at what point is it, hey, you kind of have a coach who does the right things at the right time and wins games versus, over a 2 or 3 year period, like with Drinkwitz, it's like when he gets close, he kind of screws up sometimes.
I think some of it's personality.
Yeah.
Lane's calm. At least on the exterior, calm.
Sure.
Kind of cool. Team.
You're not getting the crazy high or low emotional from Lane.
And so, therefore, the team sort of follows that lead. Now, some of it's luck.
Of course.
Like the play at Knoxville last year.
He dropped the ball.
It wasn't Lane Kiffin who made the ball go an inch too high.
Yeah, sure.
Right. You know what I mean? And so
yeah, you could run bad for 3 weeks where the other team just catches everything and you go, hell, I don't know. I mean,
yeah, I mean if Jonathan Cruz misses a kick, it's not because Lane missed it any more than when Jonathan makes it. It's not because, well, Lane made it. No, come on. I mean, when games come down to a play, there's a certain coin flip to it.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, when you win more of them than you lose, it says something probably for your mentality. That's about as far as I'll go with it.
And you have good special teams because they do swing games.
Sure.
In ways we don't ever really give the right credit to.
Right.
We haven't talked about Jonathan Cruz's season enough.
Well,
he has been phenomenal.
I'll tell you what we haven't talked enough about was the 60-yard punt.
That made it almost impossible. It just took the game.
It ended the game.
Yeah. Whereas you shanked that thing and they've got it at the 42 and suddenly.
Yeah, well, now you're a play away from a field goal.
Yeah.
You know, field goal ties that game. So you shank it or you kick it low and they return it. Totally different deal if you start that drive at your own 37 as opposed to your own 6.
It was 60, wasn't it?
Yeah, he kicked 60 yards, no return. Yeah, he boomed it. So, yeah, I'm not – I know people like doing the winners win and all that stuff. I'm not minimizing. I've said all along, I think Kiffin's mentality is very good for that. I'm just saying you can't –
Well, I think it's a negative to Freeze when he was at Ole Miss.
He got tight. His team
– And he would get really, really high on games where they would really play well, but you can't do that 12 times.
Right.
So I think that in some ways leads to the loss to Memphis or like some of those games where it's like, God, they look like hell. But
yeah,
you weren't going to blow all your bullets on that in that direction. I mean, because, he was really good in 13 when they beat LSU and they were all beat to hell and the whole roster was out and whatever. And they pulled that off against Mettenberger and Jarvis Landry and all those cats. But yeah, it's almost like when the team doesn't get that from you, they go, well, I mean.
It's why I always push back. Always when people do if only that 4th and 25. I'm like, no, you don't realize how tight that coaching staff was about to get.
That LSU's a whole different – They might win, but it's a different dynamic.
They might win.
Well, State would have been actually the one. LSU was not very good at that moment.
Wouldn't have mattered.
That was a blowout.
It might not have mattered.
I guess it's good. There were games left. Yeah, there was stuff on the schedule.
That game in Starkville was going to get some kind of tight because they played pretty loose that night.
They did. Jumped out to the big lead.
And State was tight.
Yeah.
Had Ole Miss been tight too, man, all bets are off.
Yeah.
I saw that. You saw it too.
Yeah, I doubt Lane's pregame changes much. Feels mostly just.
I don't know.
I guess changes is the right word, but tone of message.
No, I think his message is pretty consistent. Go lay it all out.
Be smart. Don't be stupid. Yeah.
But go play. Go work. Yeah. Pretty basic stuff. Pre-game speeches are so overrated.
It's over in like 4 minutes.
I mean, give me a break.
It makes for a Disney movie when it goes well, but I mean, you can have the best speech in the world and still get your ass kicked in 10 minutes.
Yeah. Like, look, I like the little narrative because it's cute and funny. But 6 years ago tonight, when the Cubs won the World Series, it had nothing to do with Jason Hayward's speech.
Oh, come on now.
It had everything to do with Kyle Schwarber got a hold of a fastball.
Well, he got a hold of it because Jason told him. Inspiration came. And
because Ben Zobrist had a phenomenal at-bat. Down 0-2, fought off a couple of pitches, got what he was looking for, and discipline drove it down the third baseline.
So you don't think they won in Austin because they locked the gate and picked a fight?
No.
You don't?
No. Any more than I think the Ole Miss baseball team won because someone gave some speech on the mound. They won because what's-his-face was dominant that day.
Mm-hmm. I guess David has a good point. They do it on the season every week. Yeah. Be physical, win the turnover margin. Let's go. Cool. Sweet.
Yeah, I mean,
all right.
I don't know that Lane's ever going to come across as the great orator. It's not his deal.
I forgot Ben Zobrist was good that year.
And I mean this as a compliment. He puts more thought into what he's going to wear getting off the bus than he does what he's going to say to his team before they take the field.
You think so?
I would bet any amount of money. I don't even think Lane would challenge that.
He doesn't have note cards in his pocket that he's been prepping for hours.
Because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It matters it matters the exact same amount as what suit he wears off the bus. The difference is that one, you can turn into some recruiting stuff. The other is over the moment the words come out of your mouth. Because when you take the field and the action starts, you get back into your technique and your assignment and all that. You're not thinking about, Coach Kiffin said, no, you're just playing the game.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point in the stream earlier. When's the last time the number 1 ranked team in the country is a 9-point underdog in a game? Never.
I mean,
because it takes the poll mechanics of doing this where a poll is created in the middle of a week.
Yeah.
Because here's the catch. Had this happened last week, Tennessee wouldn't be a 9-point underdog today at number 1 in the country.
You don't think?
No, because you're making too much money off casual bettors. I mean, the sharps might get you a little bit, and that's where the money is, but college football game of the week like this, a lot of people are just going to throw 20 on it.
Yeah, for fun.
So perception does matter.
They would take the 1 ranked team, yeah.
Yeah. I think you would have a lot more people take them at that point. For dang sure.
Have you decided what you're doing with that game? Tennessee plus 8.
I mean, Georgia's had another injury. I'm taking Tennessee. If I lose it, I'm fine losing that direction, and Georgia blows them out. I'll be okay. I mean, it's an emotional hedge for me, so I'll take Tennessee. I might even put 50 on it just to ramp it up a little more. I'll either win money or get to watch a blowout.
I know I should.
I mean,
I should feel some sort of way about Tennessee, but I don't.
You don't. You're cheering for them.
I mean, I'm not even.
I mean, Rocky Top was blaring when I walked in this morning. The power tee is like laid out in Legos over here in the floor right now.
Yeah,
I mean, I
love it. I love me some ball. Smokey. I'm going to sleep with my little Smokey doll this weekend.
He was an attractive dog with his blanket on Saturday. He's a good boy.
He's a good boy.
He's a good
boy.
He looked like he'd rather be anywhere else in the world than right there in the middle of Neal Stadium.
It was awfully late. It was kind of cold.
He's like, okay.
I got a feeling Smokey's a little pampered. Probably was ready to curl up in his nice warm bed.
Yeah, look, if I lose the game and Georgia wins by 13, cool, sweet. It's fine. I'm not going to Boise. I don't care. Whatever does it make? I mean, are you going to put Siski points on this?
No. I don't bet SEC games.
Oh, right. I keep forgetting that. That's right. Would you if you could?
Probably not. This would not be on my list.
Okay.
There's some SEC games that might make my list.
But this is not one?
That would not be one.
Yeah, speaking of the playoff rankings, Tennessee 1, Ohio State 2, Clemson 3, TCU 4. Is that right?
Is that right? TCU 4, good for them. I mean,
is that right?
I was walking into the pavilion when those things came out. I told Kyle Campbell, I said, is anything less meaningful than these right now? If there was never more of a made-for-TV moment, it was yesterday. There's so many more games to play. This thing is going to sort itself out.
No, never mind. No, Tennessee 1, Ohio State 2, Georgia 3, Clemson 4. Why is that? Oh, never mind. Okay, I know why. I'll explain that in a second. Sorry, I'm an idiot. Here's what I hate, and it's because of our agate society with journalism, is it's really hard to find the actual poll. Like, everybody's analyzing the poll or doing, well, here's what we think the poll should be. Like, you can't just give me the damn poll. What is the top 25? I miss a little more like AP World. Like, just inverted pyramid. Give me what I'm looking for, and then I'll figure out what to do with it.
I'm with you.
Drive me insane.
I'm with you.
Okay.
So what's the rankings?
Tennessee 1, Ohio State 2.
Okay.
Georgia 3, Clemson 4.
Okay.
Michigan 5.
All right.
Alabama 6.
Okay.
TCU 7.
All right.
USC 8. No, sorry, Oregon 8.
Oregon's 8.
Oregon's 8.
Okay.
SC 9.
I mean, Oregon makes sense because their only losses to Georgia.
Sure.
SC's 9, sure.
LSU 10, Ole Miss 11.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. UCLA 12.
Sure.
Everybody's
going to play each other. We're going to get it all sorted out.
The other one-loss teams, Illinois is at 16, North Carolina's at 17, Tulane's at 19, Kansas State at 13, Utah at 14, Penn State at 15.
Okay.
Oklahoma State at 18. Syracuse at 20, Wake at 21.
It's really a shame we don't have a 12
Well,
team playoff.
see, that's where I was going and where I got confused. If the 12-team playoff format were in place today that we are going to get eventually in a couple of years or whatever it is.
So Ole Miss was the 10, so they would go play the 7?
So here are the no, they play the 6. So here's what it would look like.
Okay.
If the playoff wasn't started today.
Right.
Tennessee, Ohio State, Clemson, and TCU would get buys because you have to be conference champions to get buys.
Okay.
I have no problem with that.
No, sure. It's fine.
Yeah, Tennessee, Ohio State,
I have no
Clemson.
problem with this hypothetical thing that's not going to happen. I'm good.
But it does show us.
Yeah, what it would look like. It would be fun. Sure.
So first-round games would be number 12, Tulane, at number 5, Georgia. That's your bad game, but we'll deal with it.
Okay.
Cinderella gets a spot, and I'm cool with that. They're always going to be the 12, most likely.
Cinderella's going to walk into that party looking like $1 million, and she's going to walk out like, woo. You spent the night at Sal's and at ULM, didn't
you? You celebrate like hell when you get in and go, so what are we doing? We're going to Athens. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well. Woo.
Yeah. We've been to Atlanta, Georgia State. That ain't this. Ole Miss, number 11, at number 6, Michigan.
Sign me up.
I mean, you're in.
I mean,
you're
my guy in Dubuque's watching that.
Oh, he's. Now you get a rematch here, LSU at Alabama.
Okay.
It's fine.
We're all going to watch it Saturday night. Why would we not watch it again?
Well, and again, at the end of the year, you won't have this rematch. This is today.
Right.
Next week, we're going to do the same exact damn thing sitting here right now on Wednesday, and it'll be a different set of teams.
Sure.
And then SC and Oregon would be your 8-9 game.
Okay.
The SC Oregon winner would play Tennessee.
Okay.
The Alabama LSU winner would play Ohio State.
Sign me up.
You're in. The Ole Miss Michigan winner would play Clemson.
Sign me up.
And win.
Sure. Probably.
So then you got a Cinderella, and we're doing
this is
the
my
whole
point. The weekend.
I mean, Ole Miss would be an upset in Ann Arbor from probably getting into the semis.
The weekend of January 1, when they played the 4 quarterfinal games, would be just awesome. And for what it's worth, the people are like, well, what about the Outback Bowl? Still play it.
Grind does make a good point. Michigan versus this run defense would be a little bit of an issue. Yeah.
Oh, I'm ready. Yeah, just but
we don't need to break down the matchup.
My,
That's not
my
the
point is that my cat in Dubuque, is he watching this? Yeah, he's watching. He's more apt to watch this than he is the Fiesta Bowl.
And then Georgia against TCU in a quarter.
Sure. You're putting 4 games on New Year's Day, calling them quarterfinal games, stretching them all day long. And if you want to play other games on ESPN2 and ESPNU and go FS1, go for it. It's cool. Or you play all those on New Year's on the 30th and the 31st so that you can spend the whole broadcast day hyping up the quarterfinal games, which is frankly what they would do. And we'd still watch because it's football. That's why they played 2 games on a Tuesday night on Maction yesterday, because people will watch. If nobody watched, they wouldn't play those games then.
No, I'm not doing the homer thing. I'm just kind of curious for that group of 5 spot. What does Tulane have left? Do they have a chance to run this? I mean, they are the highest ranked group of 5.
I think they still have some tough games in front of them.
Oh, yeah. If they win this, they by God earned it.
They still have Cincinnati and
it's a murderer's row.
UCF
and SMU
yeah,
and Tulsa.
Yeah,
you could lose all 4, frankly.
Yeah, probably not winning all 4.
I mean, it's Willie Fritz gets to go into the building and go, "Hey guys, look, you're 4 away," but that's a task right there. And it's at Cincinnati to end the season. Yeah, I don't like the chances there for the Green Wave. I did not watch any Maction last night. I never even turned it on.
I didn't either.
I honestly forgot about it. And it's the
well, I was at high school soccer till 9:30.
And I don't know if negative is the right word. I don't know if it's I guess it kind of is a negative. You know, I stream my TV. I don't have a satellite dish or anything anymore. So you're not flipping. Like, you're choosing your game more than I'm not just like going down button on ESPNs until I find something I want to watch.
Do you miss that? Honestly,
a little.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I would miss that.
Yeah. I mean, you can,
because like Saturday, I'm gonna flip a lot.
and what I have to do for that, I use Hulu. If anybody's confused, is I basically go through at the very beginning of a time slot, and it takes 2 minutes probably, and I select all the games and go to them because then it puts them in my recent folder. So then I can just go to that recent folder and switch between games.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're literally
searching. Yeah.
Because
like Saturday.
Because if I just go to the sports function, it thinks it's helping me. Like, I understand why Hulu thinks we're integrating and it's smarter than everybody else and it makes sense. But when I go to the sports topic to give me all the sports games that are on, it doesn't just give me what's on TV. It gives me every streaming game.
Right.
So I'm scrolling through.
So you're getting St. John's versus Villanova women's soccer. Right.
I mean, we're just clicking.
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay, no.
I don't want to do that.
Give me the channels.
Like Saturday, I want to lay on the couch because I know what's coming. I know what's coming Saturday. I'm going to get up. I'm going to get my exercise in. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to be up in the attic. I know that's what's coming, right? I'm probably going to use that as an excuse to break out the Prosecco and a little orange juice and get that started. Ooh. And so about 2:30.
Grand Marnier.
Yeah, a little bit
just
on top.
Touch.
Yep. And about 2:30, she's going to be, hey, I need something for this. I need to go to Home Depot. I'm like, let's go. And I know Home Depot is going to turn into, I'm also going to go over to this place and check this out. Cool. How about it? And the house is going to be quiet because Carson's going to go do something with his friends. And it's just going to be me. And like it might rain outside on Saturday, which is going to make this even more likely. I want to lay on the couch and I want to have the remote in my hand and I want to be able to flip.
I miss that, I think, more than it being in complete real time. And the real time doesn't bother me as much as it would bother Jeffrey or Dylan or somebody.
They're tweeting.
Yeah, but I will say this. In key moments of games, I will make sure I avoid social media to not catch the ending a minute before it happens.
Spoilers.
Or the other way sometimes. Like, if a team that I don't want to win is about to kick the game-winning field goal, I will look, and if they make it, I'll turn it off and go, I'm not watching the end. Nuh-uh. Like Tennessee, Georgia lining up, I will catch the thing and go, oh, Tennessee's about to celebrate now. Hell no.
Yeah.
On to Mississippi State. Here we go.
Yeah, I want to be able to flip. I would miss the flipping on a day like Saturday.
Yeah, you can flip, but it takes like 3 buttons.
And I don't want
to.
I just want to go to, and it flips back to the other game. Because I'm probably quasi Saturday keeping
the 11 o'clock window. You've got like 4 you're interested in.
Yeah, I mean, now look, I'm gonna be up in the attic, but yeah, I'll be.
You can time it if you want.
But I want to come down and check it out. I got Kentucky, Missouri. I'm interested in it. I'm interested in Florida, Texas A&M. Shoot me, I am. I don't know why, but I am. At 6, there's 4 games I'm interested in that hour.
Yeah.
Now I might not be in a mental state at that point to keep up with it.
Sure.
But I might.
But it's on. So, yeah, I want to look at the schedule. I'll do that in a second. First, about Johnson Hill Creamery, johnsonhillcreamery.com. Go to the website, whether it be your tailgating packages for Alabama. You can order those now. It's going to be a busy day. So go ahead and get it out of the way, feeding 10, 20, or 40, depending on your choice. You can also give them a call. But go to the website. You see all the different accompaniments. You see the different condiments they have available and different things to whether it be a holiday party, a shower, or whatever you need, they can help you out. They do small batch artisanal cheese that's made in-house every single day right there off Molly Bar on White Oak Lane, 662-419-9201. You can also sign up for their cheese class in the Delta to the Travelers Hotel in Clarksdale on December 6th from 6 to 8. They are taking it on the road. So a holiday-themed version of that on December 6th. Sign up on the website. Again, johnsonhillcreamery.com.
If your Saturday has a chance to look like mine might, I would recommend Game Changer patches. The only 2-patch system available in the market to stop hangovers before they start. The warm-up patch used before or while you drink. Overtime patch used after you've been drinking to recover while you sleep. All natural ingredients keep you in the game, ready for the next play. Go to GameChangerPatch.com, promo code RebelGrove20 at checkout for your next purchase. My friend Clay McNutt owns ACS in Baldwin, Mississippi. It's established in 2013. It's a complete electrical control system solution provider, a Rockwell Automation recognized system integrator. They've got a full-time dedicated emergency service and troubleshooting staff and a UL508A panel shop. It's ACSLLCMS.com. or call 662-601-4381. Lammon's Fine Jewelry is 1126 North Lamar Boulevard in Oxford, serving the Oxford area for about 75 years. Whether you're looking for engagement rings or wedding rings or fine jewelry, watches, pearls, fashion jewelry, gifts, collectibles, it's the gold standard in fine jewelry. Visit them at lammonsfinejewelry.com or call them at 662-234-2777. Don't forget to get in touch with our friends at Pinnacle. They'll conduct a complimentary no-obligation benchmarking and analysis of your current 401k plan. It's mypinwealth.com, MYPINN wealth.com. Talked about the road to Boise. John Edwards made the road to Boise a lot more navigable. Made it nice and easy. We just said, hey, here's what we're looking to do. Here's our budget. Set us up. And he did. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun for our listeners and viewers as well. I think we'll have a weekend full of stuff. And John made that happen. He can help things with you as well. Just get in touch with him, give him some parameters, give him a budget, and he'll take care of you. 901-494-3387 or jedwards@regencytravel.net. Also, Oxford's new Greek restaurant on the square, Opa, is the perfect place to plan your Christmas party, featuring fabulous food, craft libations. Let them host your company dinner or festive party event. Opa can accommodate up to 200 guests. For catering or booking. I was reading catering and booking at the same time. For catering or booking information, contact Gene, 601-421-7147.
Podcast is brought to you by Style Assembly, just off the square in Oxford. They can help you ladies or ladies in your life with their fall needs, no matter the budget, size, or occasion. Style Assembly is here to help you assemble your style to celebrate the Rebs after a win or to take advantage of the big weekends in Oxford. They're offering a great incentive to Rebel Grove subscribers, podcast listeners from now until the end of November. Win a $250 gift card to shop at Style Assembly. Help me out here, help you out in the process. Just to enter, you go in the store, right there off the square, tell one of the sales associates or ask for Kate, the owner, say, hey, I came to check out Style Assembly and what they have to offer. No purchase necessary, but maybe you get interested in the Gooder sunglasses. They've got these faux fur coats that are very popular this week, and much more. So I can help you with your future styling or gifting needs. Men, head in, take care of Christmas, enter to win as well. So again, that is a $250 gift card from Style Assembly. That's shopstyleassembly.com. Let's see, where was I going with this? Yeah, I thought there was even more than that at 11. There's some decent stuff early in the day. I was trying to kind of sort my day out a little bit and was like, well, that's pretty good and that's decent and everybody's locked on 2:30 obviously, but
I don't know. I'm pretty locked on the 6 o'clock.
You're more interested at 6 than 2:30?
I'm kind of interested in all of it.
Okay.
I get a Saturday off, man. I don't have to write. I don't have to talk. It's going to be great. And if it gets boring, I fall asleep and potentially have a World Series game that night.
That would be Game 6.
Game 6.
Houston gets one of these next two in Philly.
Well, if they do, I mean, Philly's got a chance to win it in Game 6.
Nola tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was bad in Game 2.
He was bad in Game 2, so.
Big game for the Astros kid.
You think?
Biggest of his life. Hey, like. That's why I'm in the chair. It's a big game tonight for the Astros starter in Game 4.
So you're telling me Game 4 of the World Series when you're down 2-1 is kind of big.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fly ball caught.
Ladies and gentlemen, that broadcast school sure paid for something.
Tennessee's in good shape to make the playoff. They win Saturday. I mean, it's right there.
It feels like if Tennessee wins.
I am oddly more interested in Kentucky, Missouri at 11 than A&M, Florida.
Yeah, I am too.
It's such a weird pecking order game here. I mean, Missouri gets bowl eligible with a win. Kentucky's season has gone to hell.
Yes.
Does their season going to hell like this with Levis's deal make Stoops more willing to listen to other overtures?
Yes. Yes.
That there's a cap.
Yeah.
I've got the quarterback, and we're still sitting here basically tied with Missouri in the SEC.
It's super early, but there are some rumblings around with them that make you go, this might not be sustainable.
Even though they did a really good job in NIL last year.
They did. But is it sustainable? A lot of people can do a good job 1 year in NIL. Throw a bunch of NIL money together and go buy you some players. A lot of people can do that. Can you do it year over year? Can you keep it going? If the prices increase, can you keep raising the funds? At a place where people care about basketball a lot.
Yeah, they're not going to stop caring about basketball.
Mm-mm. They care about it a lot. A whole lot. And in March, that care usually pays off. I mean, they're in it. And they're very relevant, and people are talking about them. And they get a lot of attention. Win or lose.
Well, no, if anything, Cal's underachieved.
Sure.
I mean, which is why it was notable that a lot of people took Stoops' side when he went after Cal and that back and forth. I mean, there was a segment that went, no, we're football.
Probably haven't won as many tournament games as he should have.
Well, he hasn't. I mean,
tournament's weird, but
you're Kentucky.
You should win more tournaments.
You frankly should never miss the tournament, ever.
Yeah, and when you get there, you probably should
hang around for a minute.
You should make the round of 32. You should make the second weekend.
Yeah, second weekend.
And then after that, it's a coin toss, crapshoot, whatever.
Yeah. You run into some hot team.
Somebody shoots 80% and you lose. Happens.
His tenure, and again, I get it's 2 games, what if or whatever, but they were so good. His entire career and tenure is different if they could have just finished off that undefeated year. You know, they lose to that Wisconsin team that was good, but should never have lost that game. And was it 15?
Yeah.
And
Wisconsin played there.
Was that Kaminsky and those guys?
And they just played so well that night.
Yeah.
Day, whatever it was.
It was not. It was late afternoon night.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. Pretty sure that's correct.
Yeah, yes. The Stoops job that's out there potentially is Iowa.
You think he takes it?
I mean, I don't know the man.
Well, sure, just guessing.
It's his alma mater. What does that mean? I don't know. It's the Big Ten, which is
Iowa and the Big Ten have a higher ceiling than Kentucky and the SEC.
Probably, and don't hold me to that because I just don't.
They've gone to bigger bowls over the years.
For all the jokes about Iowa, I don't.
You're not inclined. I mean, I'm not.
I think I've talked Carson into taking a college visit there this summer.
So basically, a reason for you to take a college visit to Iowa City. Is that what we're saying? Because Carson's not going to Iowa.
No. He knows that.
He is the conduit for you to get the campus tour. Is what he's doing.
Yeah. Precisely. I'll go buy a sweatshirt. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's how that's actually going. But
he'll have fun. I'll find him a good burger somewhere. You know, I'm going to guess there's a couple pretty good restaurants.
What do you eat in Iowa?
I mean,
corn.
I'm going to guess they've got some pretty good, couple of good restaurants in a college.
Because if you're going to Wisconsin, eat a brat.
Yeah, sure.
When in Rome.
Yeah. So we'll figure it out. We've already kind of planned out a little trip.
Have you really?
Yeah. Why not?
Does he have any idea where he wants to go? Is that starting to even sort of take shape?
Not really.
If he was a baseball player, he decided 4 years ago. So
yeah, I mean, if he was a baseball player, he'd already have a college weight program from the program that he's been committed to for 3 seasons.
Yeah.
You ever ask, does Carl, in their recruiting pitch, here's how we're going to get you through puberty? Also, this is what we're going to do for your acne.
Yeah, when I know he's in a really good mood, I'll call him and be like, hey, talk to any coach pitch kids today? Shut up. Just saying. Curious. It's like, what's the youngest? He's like, I'm not answering. Quit. I was like, do you hate yourself a little more today than yesterday? What do you think?
When you see that 13-year-old with acne and you're like, I'm about to offer him a scholarship, do you just hate yourself just a little bit?
It's getting worse.
I know.
It just keeps
11-year-olds.
I mean, you can find class rankings for 2029 right now if you would like. It just keeps trickling down. I'm just telling you. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. Corner Up says, I had a former boss from Iowa. They had a ton of corn, potatoes, and pork chops. Yeah,
I get it.
Completely.
Yeah. But no, he won't go to Iowa, but we'll have fun. Take a visit. He's young. I mean, he knows 2 campuses, right? I mean, he knows the Ole Miss campus a little bit, and obviously he knows the Arkansas campus, but I don't know what he wants to do. He mentioned a career in sports the other day, and I yelled at him.
Did you?
And I rarely yell at him. was like, no. Go get a job, make a lot of money, find a really pretty girl, and spend if you want to go to sports games, go as a
If you do what you love, you never work a day in your life.
Go as a fan and sit in a luxury box.
I like Culver's, but yeah, I'm not one that goes, hey, God, when I lived in the Midwest, I'd eat Culver's every day. I mean, it's a burger. It's
fine. It's a burger. I mean, the truth is there's only so much you can do to make a burger like super special.
Yeah, I would assume Iowa loves some pork. It's all good.
I would think so. I like pork chops.
Yeah, I think it's underrated. Some people are like, "Oh no, it's underrated."
A really good bone-in pork chop,
yeah,
cooked
it's underrated.
Just right, is good.
I mean, I'm kind of guilty of it too. I don't know that I order it at restaurants very often, but
no, I don't either. But I can acknowledge the tastiness of a good pork chop. Sometimes a good pork chop's better than a steak.
Yeah, Daniel, I was being facetious more than anything else with my quote. Look, you can, no matter what the job is, at some point, yes, it becomes a job. There is some sort of drama or issue in any profession at some point.
Sure.
I mean, if you're dealing with people, eventually people piss you off.
Yes.
That's bottom line.
Yes.
I mean, and when you get in sports, you lose your fandom because it is such a job to where you're not doing the pageantry thing every Saturday or whatever, too.
You lose your weekends.
Well,
you lose a lot of nights. There's stuff for people that work in sports fields that I don't think sometimes people completely get.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you work for a Major League Baseball franchise, 6 months out of the year, you're working around the clock and I don't know, there's just a lot of stuff. It's not there's stuff that your family this isn't whining, it's just stuff that you use. Every job has pros and cons, right? And like what we do, there are some cons. Like you're not taking your little girl to games because you got to work.
We are up to 8 suspensions for Michigan State after the melee in the tunnel against Michigan on Saturday.
Yep.
Still, have we got an answer on why the Michigan kid was by himself in the tunnel? What happened?
He had gone in to have an X-ray or something. He'd gotten hurt. And he was leaving.
Because, again, they used the same tunnel.
Was being cleared from the X-ray, was going to where he was supposed to be, but to get there, he had to go through that passage.
Oh, so he wasn't involved at all.
He was a victim.
Maybe some files.
His mother is talking about filing lawsuits.
Right. Yeah, reading from ESPN, they say the AD, whatever his name is, and Mel Tucker on Tuesday announced 4 new suspensions. 2 defensive ends and 2 cornerbacks suspended indefinitely. Previously, Michigan State had suspended a linebacker, a safety, a defensive end, and a corner, including, I believe, their best defensive player is in that group. Jaden McBurrows was the Michigan kid that was, frankly, assaulted in this. So, including Crump swinging his helmet at him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care if he was skipping or not. You can't assault somebody. We have to stop normalizing stuff like this. It was an assault.
It's one of those deals where
I don't care if he was singing and dancing and skipping. It doesn't matter. You can't physically assault him.
Harbaugh has handled it really well, and it shows you how serious in nature because there's no you know what I mean? There's no overblown. There's no joke. It's just there should be charges. We really are whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been very direct and to the point.
Yes.
From Harbaugh.
I mean, the Michigan AD, the very first night when he said this just can't, it's unacceptable. He's right. Unacceptable.
Harbaugh, and I think it took some success because it was weird at Michigan for a while. He didn't finish even runner-up in his division for 4 years or something. He's become his normal. He's not a caricature anymore. For a long time, we thought he was sort of this cartoon because he wasn't really being himself, and everything was a little hyperbolic and up there and showy. And we talked about the khakis and those satellite camps and drinking milk with the steak and spending the night with the recruit. And, I mean, he deserved all the crap because it was ridiculous. But he's just a good football coach now. He's sort of leveled to an extent.
Took him some time, but he kind of found his path there. And now it kind of feels like, I
mean, they're very good.
Now, he went after that Vikings job last year.
He did.
And there's rumors that he's going to go after NFL jobs this cycle.
And if he gets one, great.
Sure.
But, Yeah, it's a totally different.
But am I willing to say Jim Harbaugh's a hell of a football coach?
Yeah,
yes,
sure.
I am. Absolutely.
I think he finally just chilled out and got in his own skin.
He took the 49ers to the Super Bowl. He's taken Michigan to the playoff.
I mean, he's still a weird dude, but he's done a good job, my man.
Yeah, but it's a field full of weird dudes.
It is.
I mean, how many football coaches have you ever met in your life, honestly, where you're like, yeah, that guy's just a normal guy?
There's a few, but they're few. Yeah.
I mean, that I've covered?
Matt might be the closest.
He's it.
Yeah. That might be right.
I mean, Tuberville was close to that. Terry Bowden was nuts when I covered.
Was he really?
Yeah, just nuts. But he was paranoid about that point.
Okay.
Tuberville was pretty normal. Houston Nutt was paranoid. Hugh Freeze was paranoid. Matt was really nice guy. Probably too nice. Lane's Lane.
Mm-hmm.
Saban was Saban. I mean, I covered Saban basically for better part of a season.
He's the same then as he is now.
Yeah, but nobody would watch that and go, that's normal. That's just like the guy down the street. That's like Mr. Johnson down the street. No, come on. Different people. They're wired kind of differently. To be really successful, I think you have to be wired kind of differently in that field. So Harbaugh, yeah, it's kind of weird, but he's winning. Winning a lot. And they might be the team that nobody's talking about. I mean, they just got to beat Ohio State one time.
They have a perception issue because of the way they got dominated in the playoff last year. That we're going. The playoff?
Yeah,
it was, right?
Georgia.
Yeah.
But Georgia's good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Georgia choked them out, and we
kind of ran into a buzzsaw. But I didn't watch that and go, if they were just coached a little better. It was it was a little talent deal.
Yeah. They ran into that defense.
Andy Kennedy. Yeah, Andy's pretty normal, but Andy's pretty driven dude now.
It's almost impossible to get to that level without being so driven.
Andy's intense. Andy's intense. I mean, you see the funny and all that stuff, but that is one intense.
He does a good job of turning it off when he can turn it off.
Right.
Yeah, you see him out and about, and he's funny and jovial and whatever, but then.
Yeah, when that button's on, it's on.
Yeah, he'll scare you a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, he's got an intensity to him.
Yeah. So, podcast brought to you in part by Northeast Spark, NESPARC, service people across rural communities. 2 packages, the Ignite, the 100 Mbps, or the Blaze, the 1 gig that's in the Clarkport studio. I've got it at home as well. You can stream multiple devices, do whatever you want with the 1 gig, very fast internet here in Oxford. Your hometown team bringing you world-class broadband. That's nespark.com. 662-238-3159. Phone service, pro controls, network security, and more. So to get the best internet in Lafayette County, as well as parts of Pontotoc or Union counties, if you did not previously have internet, just give them a call, 662-238-3159.
I've got a mailbag up at rebelgrove.com. It's brought to you by Whitney McNutt of Tommy Morgan Incorporated Realtors, serving you for all your real estate needs in Oxford and Tupelo. She sells condos, land, commercial, residential, family homes. 662-567-2573, 662-842-3844. Also brought to you by Service Specialist Staffing and Recruiting Agency. If you're looking for a job, they can help you. If you're looking to hire someone, they can help you as well. It's always free for the candidate. Payment of service solely contingent on if you decide to hire a candidate that they send. 662-832-5138, or check out the new and improved website, servicespecialistltd.com. Don't just accept what you see, but imagine something new. Step forward. Chase after a better version of yourself. Every day, Corinth Dental's helping people reinvent themselves one smile at a time. Dr. Bubba McQueen, Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using conservative, state-of-the-art procedures, including Invisalign. 12 months, no interest, no down payment financing is available at corinthdental.com. Pinpoint Commercial Real Estate, based out of Jackson, services the entire state of Mississippi in all commercial asset classes such as industrial, retail, office, medical, and land. Our guy, BB Mitchell, is the point man to get in touch with. They take great pride in their attention to detail, professionalism, and hard work. So for all your commercial real estate needs, call BB, 601-934-5008. If you're looking to diversify, you're looking to leave the corporate rat race, gain control of your income and schedule, MyPerfectFranchise.net offers the ability to create income and wealth. Let Andy Ledecky guide you through a comprehensive franchise evaluation. If you hate your job, your boss, your pay, you feel stuck, get in touch with my guy, Andy. It's Andy at MyPerfectFranchise.net. And we're brought to you by Southern Traditions Farm. It's a 68-acre, 32-stall upscale equestrian training and boarding facility in Canton, Mississippi. It's also a great place for events, parties, that kind of thing. So get in touch with the people at Southern Traditions Farm on Facebook or Instagram at Southern Traditions Farm.
If you care about it, I'm not going to spend 30 seconds on this, but if you care about golf, Patrick Reed is suing people again, the Masters champion from a few years ago. He is now suing tons of journalists, basically, because of what he believes to be reputation and other damages to his persona, if you will. So
good luck.
Don't like his chances.
No.
It's very hard to prove those.
I mean, go for it.
It's as I learned back in Comm's Law years ago, if a celebrity is suing, you have to have said something untrue. You had to know it was untrue and do it for malicious purposes. So good luck.
Yeah, just tough.
That's a very strict interpretation that you would need to do. Yeah, Kyle Porter, who covers golf for CBS, he says Patrick Reed is now suing Shane Ryan, Hatchet, which I think is a publishing company, New York Post, Fox Sports, Doug Ferguson, and the AP to, quote, protect his loved ones from the likes of Shane, Doug, and the rest of the jackals who make their sorry and pathetic living spreading lies and false information about him.
Wow. He's a little angry.
He's always angry. Yeah. He's
that. I had Will Ferrell going, he's an angry elf. Went through my mind.
In a slight way, I think that movie's a little overrated, but I do find parts of it really, really funny.
It is a little overrated, but there are parts that are just great.
Yeah. Are you going to watch this drivel that is Christmas Story 2? We get a sequel on this.
Christmas Story 2?
Yeah.
Not Christmas Vacation.
No, the Christmas, the 24-hour TBS or whatever channel it's on with Ralphie and the BB gun. They're doing a sequel that... Look, some people are dying on this hill. It's like their favorite Christmas movie.
Well, there
ever.
are people who sit there and watch that thing all day long, and I don't get it.
I think some of the same people are even in it, right?
It's been forever ago, right?
HBO Max dropped the trailer for A Christmas Story Christmas, which stars Peter Billingsley on Tuesday, just in time for the holiday season. While there are no fluffy pink bunny pajamas or rifles featured in the trailer, viewers are given the gift of Billingsley reprising his role of Ralphie Parker, with Ian Petrella, Zach Ward, and R.D. Robb returning as Scott Farkas, Flick, and Schwartz, respectively. The film also marks blah, 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 which is set in the 70s, features an aging Ralphie returning to his hometown with his new family in an attempt to reconnect with his childhood after the death of his father. The film is considered to be separate from the 1994 sequel, It Runs in the Family, and the TV musical, A Christmas Story Live.
So he needed a payday.
It was initially considered a flop. The original was initially considered a flop upon its release, but has since become a beloved holiday classic. Debuts November 17th. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'll find something else to do with the 195 minutes or whatever. Hour, not, whatever. 95 minutes. Sorry. You're about to say, well, hold on a minute. We doing
3 hours and 15 minutes?
That's a lot of Ralphie.
That's a lot of
Sorry,
Ralphie. You have a hard time milking that story.
Yeah, I'm out. No.
Do you ever watch that and find anything endearing about it? Or are you so...
I mean, I get the point. It just doesn't resonate for me personally. Like, I understand what they're trying to do. I understand why it works for some people. Look, here's the deal. And I think I haven't fleshed this all the way out, so maybe I'll end up changing my mind in a month when we get into the Christmas season. I really like Christmas movies a lot. I do. I really like a lot of Christmas movies.
I do too.
However, there is a reason why most of the Christmas movies we don't watch year round, a lot like the turkey and the dressing. I mean,
right.
There's very few where you go, you know what, July 8th, here's what I'm going to do. Like, I got it.
I think we got her at the same time.
Okay. Yeah, look, Creed will continue to take my money. I just don't think there should be another Creed. I mean, that's the deal. I will watch. You got me. I'll admittedly give you my $9.95 to go to the theater and watch the movie, or $12 or whatever it costs these days.
But are you a little frustrated that they made it?
Yes, it has no bearing. The canon should be closed.
I mean, what are we going to do? Is he going to lose to set up Creed 4?
Jordan directing, is that right?
I don't know. The last one ended so perfectly.
It should have closed the entire series.
I walked out of there going, all of my friends are good. Everybody's fine. I'm good now. I don't think you can even drag Rocky Balboa back into this. So now we're going into the post-Rocky, and we're dragging up some part of Adonis Creed's childhood.
Still dominating the boxing world, Adonis Creed is thriving in his career and family life when Damien, a childhood friend and former boxing prodigy, resurfaces after serving time in prison. He's eager to prove he deserves his shot in the ring. The face-off between former friends is more than just a fight. To settle the score, Adonis must put his future on the line to battle Damien, a fighter who has nothing to lose. Well, in real life, no, you wouldn't. You would never fight this person.
Well, in real life, the guy that goes and spends years in prison probably isn't coming out as a world heavyweight champion contender.
He'd be a little rusty.
I mean, Mike Tyson did it, but he did it after he was a champion.
Yeah.
And frankly, was never the same fighter again.
No. And Tyson. Yeah. Yes, Michael B. Jordan is directing Creed 3. I thought that I had heard that somewhere.
Oh, they're saying Rocky's dead in this?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean,
I know he's not in it, but and see, why do we need to do that? Why you got to tell me he's dead? Why can't I believe he was just with the Italian restaurant woman or whatever, and we move on with our day?
There you go.
I don't need to know that.
You're exactly right. See, this is what I'm saying. They took Rocky and his estranged son, and they showed you the spoiler. They showed you spoiler alert.
3, 2, 1, go.
They show you the scene where he lets him in, and his grandson's there, and you're like, oh, that's cool. We all felt this little thing, right?
Sure.
It's going to be okay for Rocky. He's not going to be lonely anymore. And maybe the woman from the restaurant, maybe they're going to live out their golden years together. He's always going to miss Adrian, but you know what I mean?
Sure.
You felt good about it. Adonis had made peace with his dad and all that stuff. It's all good. It's a movie. It's not real life. It's a movie. Let me just leave it there. It's why when people talk about bring the office back, I'm like, no, I don't want him to come back. It ended just right. I got to know that everybody was kind of okay.
They made a pitch at Stallone to appear in Creed 3, and he said that he felt that the character story had already been fleshed out and told, and it was his decision to not take part.
Well, Sylvester Stallone is exactly right. The story of Rocky Balboa was completely told with the exception
Does he have to sell the rights to Rocky for Creed to be a movie?
I don't know.
How does that work?
I'm just a sports writer.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess not. I guess there's enough intellectual property change.
I'm going to guess Sylvester Stallone has made so much money off Rocky that he's cool with it.
The residuals on Rocky pretty good.
I mean, I got to think.
He's getting checks every month.
Now, that's the damn series that you'll turn on a Saturday, on a sleepy Saturday, you're laying around, and you're like, I'm kind of...
Well, look, there's a reason for decades TNT would go, you know what, on this Sunday, we're showing all 5 of those damn things. Back to back to back to back to back, and it's 6 o'clock in the morning. You know, somewhere they're meeting in conference rooms going, hey, 3 months from now, we got to figure out. And he goes, just Rocky. All 4 of them, 5 of them, whatever.
Rocky 3 comes on, and you're like, God, this sucked, didn't it? And then Rocky 4 comes on, and you're like, I am in.
And it works better on TV than the movies. It's a Wednesday and a bye week, guys. And we're an hour and a half in. It works better on TV when they show them back to back than it does at the movies, where when the new one starts, it shows the end of the previous one. Because you're still kind of hyped up a little bit. Like you get to watch him knock out Clubber Lang at the end of Rocky 3,
yeah.
Spoiler. And I know it's from 1983. And when 4 starts, we get to watch it again, and you're hearing the music, and you're doing the whole deal. And the Rocky 4 shows the gloves, the Moscow, the Russian and the American gloves knocking together, and you're like, oh no, we're good now for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
In the movies, I feel like it was a little bit of a waste and it's not like I watched any of them in the theater, except for the recent ones because I was born in 1983. But in the movies are kind of short. I almost wonder a little bit, was it because they weren't, I don't know the answer to this, maybe somebody with more Hollywood knowledge knows this. Early on, were you wanting to make sure people were caught up, or was it a plot device to simply lengthen the movie? Because a lot of those early Rockies were like 90, 92 minutes, 95 minutes. I mean, they were pretty short films. So there had to be a reason why you were showing the fight from the previous movie to get into the next movie. And I wonder if that was to make sure everybody's aware, or if that was literally to make the movie longer.
And maybe both.
Maybe.
Because I guess you did have some people that were starting out with
And there's no internet. I mean,
with Rocky 3, right? You know.
Yeah, as it became more popular, how'd you watch the previous ones? VHSs and
when there was typically 2 years between the films too.
Yeah, I wonder if it was literally there to just go, okay, I get you guys.
Hey, it's been a minute.
Here's what happened.
You've been trying to solve your Rubik's Cube. Here's a reminder. Here's what happened the last time.
Well, it's why, TV shows that get popular mid-season will go back and show extended previews for, like, episode 14. And if you watch it the whole way, you're like, what the hell? It's like, but no, at that mid-season break, they picked up 2 million viewers.
Right.
And we're catching you all up here to, this is what Sam and Diane did.
So what happened was.
Yeah, sure. So. Yeah, I don't remember where Rocky IV was filmed in the snow. I don't remember where they did that.
Is that right? Jackson, Wyoming?
Is it?
That's what Daniel says.
Okay.
Makes me want to go there.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, sorry. If the movie's from the mid-'80s, you don't get a spoiler alert. That's completely on you at this point. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't know that Rocky
If you're mad at me because I say Goose dies in Top Gun, like, look, that's on you. Yeah, I know. Sorry. I've told all of you, I had in high school, I had a classmate that legitimately got mad at a couple of us because we mentioned the boat sinking in Titanic.
Rocky IV showed you the difference between natural outdoor training and machine training.
It did.
It did.
One's all juiced up. Yeah, I mean, Rocky never saw steroid.
No.
I mean,
Sylvester Stallone.
Your body looked like that.
If you'll go outside in the mountains and run and
pick up rocks,
you will look like that.
Yeah. Running, by the way, okay, I'm for stopping. I forgot I'm hitting the end button. He climbs a really, really high mountain in the middle of Russia in a bomber jacket and $20 hiking boots. Hold on a minute.
He was a badass.
Hold on a minute.
Badass.
He summited in a bomber jacket and, like, boots I'd wear out to, like, chop some logs or something.
All seriousness, how juiced up were those two guys for that film?
Oh, good God.
Because you just don't look like that normal.
That's the most juiced up he was in any of them.
I mean,
because, in Rocky 3, he actually kind of slimmed down. He lost weight.
Right.
Rocky 4, he put it on.
Yeah, in Rocky 4, he's huge, and he still has like a 30-inch waist. And you're like, dude, what are you? You are like so... There are so many needles.
It was a different time in the 80s. A lot of chemicals.
A lot of stuff.
A lot going around. No, swear to God, true story, Michael. She was Titanic. She did not know the boat sank. It's a true story. Wasn't a joke.
You gonna get out and chop some logs? Look like Sly.
I did not grow up on a farm, but family. Yeah,
you get out
chop
there,
some logs.
Chop some logs. Get one and carry it around. Run.
Yeah.
Run through Hatley.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point, G. I mean, yeah, I'm not typically doing a ton of manual labor, but that's fair.
Get some calluses on your hands.
I have them from golf clubs. All right.
You'll be ready.
Yeah. All right. Back tomorrow. Jeffrey joining us tomorrow morning on the show. We'll talk some football. Big weekend. Ole Miss is playing, but there are a lot of games we're interested in, as we said, so we'll get into that and more. Neal's picks up tomorrow morning on the website and whatever else happens at rebelgrove.com. So enjoyed it. Thanks for buying the stream.